Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Eddie Arguelles of Influencer Real Estate, and today we are in Stuart at a brand new renovation of a property that Bianca, my dear friend, is involved in for Sip Tequila, a large retailer that's decided to make Stuart, Florida their home. So what's going on here?
We are going to be helping Sip to open up their first Stuart retail location, and today we're going to give you some behind the scenes of kind of what we're doing to make that happen. We're about maybe 40–50% of the way right now, so what you see, there's still going to be a lot coming up, and we can't wait to share with you what we're doing.
I'm excited. It's tequila.
Yeah,
and it's
who doesn't
Stuart.
love tequila?
Let's go check it out.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this is going to be our main point of sale.
Okay.
So every client or customer that comes in, this is going to be kind of like their landing spot where they can get introduced to all the different types of products. They're going to have thousands of different options to choose from, and so what I really love about Sip is they are educators by nature. So like one of the first things that they did was they had their general manager, Luke, give us a Tequila 101 class.
Perfect.
Which I'm like, I think
Can I
I know everything.
Can I sign up for that?
I was like, I think I know everything there is to know about tequila. I mean, but he just like blew my mind and, told us about how, it's based out of Guadalajara and like some of just, the process of what it takes to make a really good tequila.
So let's back it up for a minute.
Yes.
I know they were in a smaller location, actually by you, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, they're my neighbors.
So what,
I love.
What
I love
transpired between, what was that business model and what's transpired to make them blow this out?
So they do have a small little retail section where they are now, but really primarily it's a lot of e-commerce. And so their heart and intention was to sort of create a space in Stuart where I really don't think there's going to be anything like this, where it's going to be not just about the tequila, but about the education that kind of goes around and how the process of what they are making, like just, what goes into that, and just what a beautiful process it is. It's not a quick and easy thing. And so like when you taste it and you understand it, I feel like it adds so much more of a respect level to it. And you don't, you can't shot without understanding what exactly goes into that.
So what I'm really curious about is what is different in the model there? So there it was retail in the small spot, and now what are they expanding to besides physical space? What other services can people expect? Because it looks like now that we've walked in, you have more of a customer focused, client focused experience.
Yeah, I think, for really what we want to achieve here is like the difference between going to like a big box computer store and then the experience you have when you go to like Apple, for example. And it's like you have this sort of sensory, overload of everything that is about Apple, for example. We are trying to create that same thing here with Sip, that you're not just walking in and buying a bottle and leaving without any kind of understanding of what it took for that bottle to be made. And so one of the things that I love about Sip is that they are so focused on education, not just to their employees, but even for us as we decided to kind of work together. Luke, their general manager, offered to do a Tequila 101 class with us, which I gladly jumped, at that opportunity. And it really instilled a passion inside of me that I felt like carried into our design for them, because we wanted to be able to do little, nods to these specific parts that go into the process of making tequila. A lot planned, a lot coming up in the next couple of months. But like, for example, we wanted to do like a handcrafted Mexican style tile that played off of the agave plant, which is how tequila is made.
That's gonna run underneath
That's gonna
here,
run
right?
right around here. So even though someone may walk in and have no idea like what this green tile is, we want to create a story behind every single piece and part that goes into what we're trying to do here. So if you look at a lot of Mexican architecture, you'll notice that they have a lot of archways. That's in a lot of Spanish style designs.
And that's what's going over there, you said, right?
Yep, so on that back wall, we're gonna plan to have 3 really oversized archways, which we sort of have here in our rendering. And that's going to be for bottle storage, display. People will be able to come up with their phones and like scan a QR code and get a full understanding of like who, created that tequila, what part of the process of where in Mexico, anything like that. So, we're excited because it's going to be so much more than just a retail space. And right now they're sort of internet focused mainly.
And nothing like this exists in Stuart.
Not that I know of. No.
I mean, not to this scale, too.
No.
I mean, you may be able to find a place where they, you can taste a few different things, but not a place that's completely dedicated to tequila.
100%.
And at this scale, too.
And their people are very much so like dedicated to just, there's going to be tastings here with pairings. We've got a VIP location in the back here that, people can come and bring their clients or have private events for, and really be able to have so much more than just going to a bar and getting a drink. It's going to be like a sensory overload of really what the experience of sipping tequila is.
Are
all
private
about.
events happening in the back, or is this all the front of the house?
So they're still, because
Can we take a walk back there?
Yeah, absolutely. So because their primary part of their business is e-commerce, they're still going to stock a lot in this back warehouse area. So that's going to be a huge place, where you're still able to do online purchases, and you're able to restock obviously this retail space, but it's going to function sort of for both areas, for both parts of their business. Like this really cool hickory style vinyl flooring, like commercial grade vinyl
really?
flooring.
Nice.
Yeah. So
and this is the look, right?
Faux. This is faux.
Right, but this is the look that's going.
Yeah, so we're gonna have
all the way?
we're gonna have like these 3 huge arches, and then this is gonna be like a showcase room where you've got like the $5,000 bottles and like kind of the really high end stuff. We're actually making a door, so that arch you see right there is gonna be like a faux old Mexican style door. So all of this right here that you see is not actually brick. This is plaster that's been shaped into brick, and then with plaster going over it. If you look at a lot of Mexican interior design,
Sure.
it's got that old world kind of look where
Right.
the brick's coming through the drywall or the plaster.
Is this going to be a darker floor? Or
Yeah,
lighter?
it's going to be like kind of a mid-tone dark, sort of rustic, and then we'll have like a slat wall back here, and this is going to end up being a seating area. We'll have like a little partition that if someone wants to, learn with one of the Sip Tequila reps, they can have a seat right here.
So I walk in, what is this layout really like? So can you walk me through it?
Sure.
So I walk in this door, I say hello, and then is this all just seating?
So this is we're gonna have a nice huge 10-foot live edge table over there, and that live edge table is gonna be where we can do tastings, that kind of thing. They're gonna have displays kind of set throughout.
I saw that in the rendering, right here.
Yep, so they'll have some floor displays, they'll have the wall displays in this back corner. We're gonna actually enclose this, so it's all glass. You can kind of see into it, but it'll have that higher end retail merchandise. So you'd have like your $5,000 bottles, kind of the higher end stuff. And then there's gonna be a nice big rolling ladder that we can have sort of as another kind of design element.
How many bottles? How many different tequilas are they have?
Oh my gosh, hundreds, I don't know,
And
lots.
is it going to be a catalog that's kind of always morphing into something else?
Yeah, they're always working with new people, and they have their own in-house brands as well that they offer themselves. So yeah, always.
They'll have everything from the entire price range.
Yes, totally.
Cool.
Actually, this project, it was not a typical commercial project where I don't know the person, I don't know their story. I'm kind of just coming in and sort of trying to conjure up like the best I can do for them. I think with it being Keith, who was my neighbor, who's also been there from the beginning,
Sure.
I felt so much more invested, and just like my heart was so much more tied into the outcome of this. Which has been really cool because it kind of has become like a catalyst that has put us into more and more commercial projects. And we don't, that's not our primary business model is commercial, but I think especially when it comes to community and this town, I feel like I'm honored to get to be a part of that story.
So it's not necessarily a business plan of yours to say, okay, now the next step is to go from residential to commercial.
Yeah, our heart is...
It's just, I'm here to serve my town. This is the town I serve of Stuart. And and we talked about earlier, it's like, we all kind of know each other, even the guy behind the camera. It's like there's always some relationship between people because it is such a small town.
Yep.
So is that kind of what dictates project to project?
I think so. Like obviously we want to do projects that we're excited about. I mean, you want to hire someone who is absolutely stoked about your vision because, then they're going to run with it and their heart's in it, and it's so much more than just the bare minimum, because it's
Sure.
like that above and beyond happens when people get sold on the vision, for sure. So we do try to take on projects where that kind of is sort of a natural connection. And so with this, having it been my neighbor at my where my studio is, it just was such a cool thing, because there was like all these kind of micro steps to getting to this point with them.
I'm sure it was pretty easy just to kind of knock on the door and say, hey, I was thinking about this, I was
Yeah.
thinking about that.
Yeah.
You guys are literally next door to each other.
We're next door to each
How long
other.
was that process?
But
Was it
I
a
think-
conversation before you got to something like?
I think that probably like 3 or 4 months, but I think it was also a big step for them to trust us, and anyone, to trust anyone. And I feel like that connection between the owner and I helped to kind of bridge that gap, because he knew that I was bought in. Like
Yeah.
I have private, like my business label on some of their merchandise that I give to my clients. So he already knew I'm like so all for this, and
Nice.
And so I think that was kind of a cool natural thing that you don't always get when you go to hire a designer or whoever's going to be doing your job. And then I have other one of my best friends is a business owner in town, and I get to help her with her business design, and I just feel so honored.
I'm
and
excited to see that one.
Yeah,
by the
I'm
way.
excited about that
I'm
too.
fans of theirs as well.
Yeah, I'm excited about that one too. So I mean, and so we get that kind of, that doesn't always happen. And for us, where we primarily focus in the residential portion, we just feel so honored to be a part of like a family's home, and so, but for an entrepreneur who's local and a small business owner, not that, well, they're not a small business. I mean, Sip's they're a very successful establishment, but for a small town like Stuart, and for a business owner, it's so much more personal. Like all of it is.
Sure.
It's all so much more personal, and so we get really excited when we get to be a part of like the heart of the matter, kind of, and that's why I do what I do.
Thanks for spending some time with me today.
Yeah,
I really appreciate it. It's
thanks
always
for
good to
coming
see
by
you.
and checking
Of course,
us out. And stay tuned, because there's so much more coming.
Thanks again, everyone, for joining us today on this tour of Sip Tequila. A special thank you to my friend Bianca from Splendid Home Design. You can find her at splendidhomedesign.com. We're excited to be back here for the opening roughly in the fall of this year and give you a more in-depth look of this place. We're all excited. Until next time.